Hi there, Stampers. It's Linda Schmidt with Stampin' with the Hounds. Thanks for joining me again today. I am doing a fun fold series, and I've been featuring various ways of using how to do different variations of what we call the Gatefold fun fold. So I said I was going to be done, but there was a few more I had some people ask me about. So this one today we are going to be doing is called the Floating Gatefold. And this one, it's been around for a long time, and I did an older tutorial, oh my gosh, probably many years ago, explaining it. So, but it's a really simple, fun fold, and it kind of gives that really fun kind of pop-up wow card when you give it to somebody. So we are going to be featuring, this is one of the new butterfly sets and dies from Stampin' Up! And it is on sale this month, June 2024, for an additional 10% off of what the already reduced bundle price is. So it's called Sketched Butterflies. And this is a really pretty butterfly set that you can do watercoloring, you can emboss it, you can do ink blending with it, many different ways to color with different mediums with coloring the butterflies. And then it has a beautiful die that has these three butterflies are kind of connected. They die cut to give you these little cutout ones that are all connected. And then it also die cuts the stamped images, as well as doing some other little additional butterflies that you can just use by themselves. So that is, again, Sketched Butterflies. And then we're also going to be using some of our new in color papers and the other, oh gosh, I think it is called Unbounded Beauty. Designer series paper. I get all these new papers confused on it. So these are just a couple samples I have showing the Floating Gatefold. So this one is using that new Shy Shamrock color, and then the Peach Pie, and then a little bit of the Lemon Lolly, and then I also have some shaded spruce in here. So there's that one with the butterfly that I colored with the Stampin' Blends, and then I added a little bit of Wink Stella to give the butterfly some glimmer, and then I've got little sequins on the centers of my flowers. And these flowers and dies, these are from the Around the Bend dies that are still available. And then this one pops up, and I made it more of a birthday card with my greeting. And what's fun is you can either put your greeting in here, or you can use it on one of these little pop-up pieces. You can also write on the panels. You've got some room here, so it's kind of a lot of different variations of it. But again, there's that one. And then I used some punches, and this is the Heartfelt Hexagon punch that I did for those pop-ups. And then I did the new eyelet embossing folder on that one. So that is one of them. And then the other one that I first showed you, this was with the Petunia Pop and then the Pretty in Pink colors. And then I added a little bit of gem. So again, I did that Stampin' Blends with a little bit of Wink Stella. And then again, my little pop-up, I did that eyelet folder in the background on the Petunia Pop. And then I had, because Pretty in Pink was a color that we had 20-some years ago when I started with Stampin' Up, and I still had some 12 by 12 sheets of the textured Pretty in Pink cardstock left over. I just had a few sheets. So look at me using up my plethora of paper supplies. And so there's that one. I just kind of did the happy birthday with a little bit more of that Wink Stella. And these greetings are from the Charming Duck Pond stamp set that I'm going to be featuring some samples on that cute set too that I just got. So we're going to get started again. So this is called the Floating Gatefold, and the supplies that you're going to need will be, so this is going to be the standard gatefold to begin with. Our cardstock base is 5.5 by 8.5, and on the 8.5 side you're going to score at 2 1/8 from either end, or you can do 2 1/8 and then score at 6 3/8. So that's your cardstock, and that's Petunia Pop. And then the paper, and I do need to look this up because I can't remember now what it's called. I think it's Unbounded Beauty, or it's Thoughtful Journey. I get so confused. It's got all the fun, pretty in colors, so. All right, this one, it is Unbounded Beauty. So this is the Unbounded Beauty. So it has a lot of this is a 12 by 12. It's got that really pretty kind of watercolor wash looks, and these are a lot of the in colors. And then it has some of the floral designs and some stripes with it. So really pretty, good spring kind of summer designer series paper. So we're using that one. And so for the front panels, you will need 2 that are cut at 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. So you need 2 of those. Those are going to go on the front. And if you want, you can decorate these with pattern paper if you want to. So if you decide to do that, then you would need 4 sheets of these panels cut at that size. But I'm just doing the 2 on that. And then I think when I cut that like that. And then for my inside, again, you can either do cardstock, and again, like I dry embossed it with the embossing folder, or you can do designer series paper, which is what I did on this one. And so we're going to do designer series paper today, and that is going to be 4 by 5 1/4. And again, this is that Unbounded Beauty paper. So it's kind of that summer splash color. And then for your mechanisms, so these are what I call the little arms, the little pop-up pieces. And those you can either match your cardstock base, or if you want to match whatever you do in here, I mean, it's totally up to you. I tend to match whatever my cardstock base is. So since we're using Petunia Pop, I'm doing Petunia Pop for these. And so you need 2 of them, and they are cut at 1 by 5 1/4, and then we'll score them at 1, 2, and 4 1/4 on that. And then whatever you want for your, your main focal point, I'm just doing the butterfly. I already kind of die cut him out, and we'll color him. And then I've got these I've already kind of punched out because I had them in my little punch drawer. These are going to be on my pop-up pieces, so I'm using the punches. But you can use whatever shape you want for this. It can be a square, it can be circles. You can use your punches or dies, whatever you want to do for that. But again, I'm using the Heartfelt hexagon punch for these. So I've got 2 of those. And then I was also thinking I was going to punch them out again and just layer this designer series paper on top of it. It's kind of what I was thinking. So that is it for the supplies. And then of course you'll need your Simply Score tool as well. So we're going to do that for our scoring right now. So let me get these put away. I'll grab that. Okay. All right, so on our cardstock base, we're going to score at 2 1/8 and 2, and you can again just flip it over. So 2 1/8, and then flip it, and then do 2 1/8. Otherwise, you can just score it at 2 1/8 and 6 3/8. But sometimes I always think it's easier just to remember one measurement and call it good. All right, so that's for our cardstock base. Then for our arms, both of these are going to be scored. So I already did the 1. It's going to be scored at 1, 2, and 4 1/4. So I did the 1 already. So we're going to do 1 inch, 2 inch, and 4 1/4. And that's it for the scoring. All right, so then we're going to fold. So our cardstock base, again, on our score lines where those indentations are, that's the part where I'm going to fold and make this a valley fold to make our gatefold. So bring both of these in. And then I always just kind of double check to make sure that my ends are meeting in the middle here. Let's do a spot check. All right, so that's your standard gatefold fold. But we're going to add that mechanism. So let's go ahead and decorate our front panels. So these were the 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. And when I cut my paper, I try and keep it so that my pattern is continuous on that. So that makes sure that's all good. So we'll go ahead and adhere this. And these panels you can do, I'm just doing the 1 layer. with the designer series paper, but if you wanted to add a cardstock mat, you would do, this is the 1 7/8 by 5 1/4 as cardstock, and then go in either an 1/8 of an inch, excuse me, an 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch smaller for the designer series panel if you decided to do matting. Come on, adhesive. I think I'm getting toward the end. So it's like whenever you get toward the end of the roll, it's always, it fights you. All right. Sure that's matched up. All right, so those are the front panels. All right, and then our inside piece, and again, I'm using designer series paper, but you can certainly use cardstock if you wanted to. So that's the other side of the paper, but we're going to use the Summer Splash side. And we're going to go ahead and adhere this to the inside now before we do our arms. I love these new in colors. These are like all the sherbet pastel colors that I just really, really like. Okay. All right, so that's that part. Now we're going to do our arms. And so on these, we are going to be, so you've got 2 score lines on the left side here, and then you got 1 on the right side. This one that's on the single one, you're going to go ahead and fold that. So it's a mountain fold, okay? Then you're going to go ahead and fold on these other 2 the same way. So we're going to do a mountain and then another mountain, so that you have, basically it looks like a little table. So you got the one edge, and then this one, you got the legs, and then it has that little footing on there. So when it goes to attach, this part needs to be on this base. So what you're going to do is, I always attach this part first, and I tend to, hold on here, let me get this so that I'm looking at this correctly. Yeah, okay. So what I do is I go ahead and I fold these 2 under. So then I just have my one, where my 1 score line is. I then line this up so that it's not impeding, because this is going to be attached onto this part of the panel. But I want this cardstock to be lined up right where that score line is, and then we'll add our adhesive. And on this one, you can either use tear and tape or a liquid glue. You want something a little bit a stronger adhesive, just because the mechanism, you know, you're moving it back and forth quite a few times. And then I like to position it probably like an inch or so up from the bottom, and then the same thing will happen with this one. We'll have this one kind of going down about an inch on there. And so then on this 1 inch square here, I'm going to go ahead and put adhesive. And then I'm just going to bring, making sure this is straight. Make sure I'm on my grid lines here so I can see. So that's 1. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and close this. And then I just kind of give this a quick burnish with my bone folder just to make sure that that glue, it's adhered. So now this is attached to that panel. Okay. Then, keeping these closed, what I do is then I'm going to put adhesive just on this end piece. And again, you can use tear and tape or liquid glue, keeping it folded. I then just bring this down and give it a quick burnish. Just kind of hold it there for a minute. Make sure it's attached and dry. And now you've got your pop-up piece. So it's like a little table. Okay? And then we'll do the same thing on the top piece. So again, we'll just go ahead and fold to make these all like a mountain fold. Okay, then we're doing the single one is the one that gets attached to the panel, to your left side of your gatefold, and then the little leg and the foot gets attached to the card base. So again, I kind of keep this tucked under so it's folded, and I got my little 1-inch square, and then I make sure that this is lined up. It's not going to impede my card folding. And then I'm just kind of eyeballing to make sure I'm about 1 inch down from the top. And then I'll hold this, and I'm just going to put adhesive on that 1-inch square. And then I'll bring my card flap down. Just hold on to it for a minute just to make sure that glue is adhered. So then now it's attached to that left flap. And then now these, I'm going to keep them folded. Okay, so this is unfolded. I'm keeping it folded, and I'm only going to add glue on that 1-inch square. And then again, I'm just going to close this card. Just make sure it's held down. And now we have both of our little arms attached. So super, super easy. Love it, love it, love it. So that's basically the floating gatefold. And then now you can go ahead and decorate everything for your pop-up pieces. So let's go ahead. I'm going to decorate the front of my card here. So I had already stamped my butterfly in basic white, and then I die cut another one from Petunia Pop. And I'm going to layer that because I'm going to, like I did on this card, I'm having the butterfly kind of be half off that front panel. And so when you do the Stampin' Blends, that white, it always bleeds through the white cardstock. So I don't like to see that coloring. So I always put a matte behind it. So we're going to use, again, like that Stampin' Blends. And I think the colors, I think I'll probably still do the Petunia Pop and the Pretty in Pink on my butterfly. And maybe on this one, I think I may change. I'll do this more of the, I'll start with the darker Pretty in Pink for my center here. So I'm just kind of coloring just parts of this with the dark Pretty in Pink. And then I'm going to go with my dark Petunia Pop, and we'll do some other accents here with the little dots. Yeah, the one thing that's nice about the Stampin' Blends is they're very forgiving. I mean, you can just basically scribble and blend. That's what I do. All right, and then let's go back in now with the lighter color. So we're gonna do the light Pretty in Pink. Just kind of start filling in. And then we'll do the light Petunia. What did I do? And then the rest of it is just kind of going back and forth with the light and the darks until you get the desired look you want. Yeah, so Jeff and I, we celebrated our 9-year anniversary, and he does, he always makes cards for me, and he stepped up his game the last few times he's made me a card where he's done fun folds. And so this morning, he's like, I got to make your card. And he goes, where's your fun fold book with the instructions? So he made me the pop-up, the explosion fun fold. So I thought that was pretty cool that he... that he did it. So yeah, I did post the pictures of the cards in my Facebook Stampin' with the VIP Hounds group page. So you guys, if you haven't joined my community page or group page, do that, and then you can see cards by Jeff. Okay. And we'll do a little bit of the gray. So we'll do some light smoky slate for his body. I'm just going to do a little bit of the dark on the side here. All right, and then I think we'll give this an all over real quick, just blend with the light pink. A little bit more with the dark. All right, and then our butterfly, of course, needs a little bit of glimmer. So we're going to add a little bit of Wink of Stella just to give it that shine. So wherever you want the glitter to go. All right, so now there is our butterfly. So then we're going to go ahead and, so see how that bleeds through? That's why I don't like seeing that. So that's why I do this other, I die cut another butterfly just to put on the back with the color. And I chose to do the Petunia Pop just because it's the same color as my card base. So that is going to be our focal point on the front. And then that will come in. I'm just going to fix a little bit of my bleeding here. We'll just add a little bit of shadowing going around my butterfly. Because obviously Linda can't color in the lines today. Okay. It's hard to color when you're like on camera. The pressure. Okay, and we're going to use some dimensionals. Oh, here they are. And I think before I attach those, I may add, so these are the new In Color Shimmer gems. So I'm going to add a couple of these onto my butterfly before I put that on the card. So we'll do probably, let's do the Petunia Pop since we've got. go. So those are just kind of a little bit of bling on our butterfly. Okay, so now let's go ahead and do our attaching this on with dimensionals. And I did have, I think what I was going to do is just kind of adhere these as well. So I had die cut a bunch of little butterflies. And I think I do want to do the pink for a contrast. I also got a saying. I'm wondering if I should do... Yeah, we'll see that for the... We'll just do our butterflies on the outside. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a little bit of liquid glue on these. And some of these I probably should have done these on sticker sheets, but I was just die cutting a bunch of these butterflies and stuff on Sunday while I was watching TV. It's my therapy, die cutting. All right, so go ahead. We'll just do it back. We'll just add these. About there. And then we'll pop this one so it's only half on the card. Okay, so I'm only going to put dimensionals on this one side here. I think that's probably all I'll need. Oh, I think we need one more right there just to give it a little bit more support. I don't like it when my focal point images sink in. So we'll do some dimensionals. Okay, so then that's just attached right on that. And then we'll do one more little butterfly at the bottom of this card. So these are all from that die cut set, the sketched butterflies. Okay, so that's our front. Fun. And then now let's go ahead and do our little arms here. So like I said, I was thinking of punching out two more. So this is that same paper. Hoping, oh, I gotta go punch it this way. That's right. Because then I'll be able to get two out of this scrap. Oh, I went down too low. Maybe not. Shoot. If I got another one of these. Let's see. Always something on the videos. There we go. Got one more. I went down too far on my punching. Okay. So then these can go ahead and get attached onto the cardstock ones. Yeah, and so you do need to layer this because the designer series paper, it's too thin if you just would do this and not have the cardstock behind it. All right, and then I'm going to make this one a thank you card. So I have some circles that I've had die cut. I think that should fit on there. Yeah. I'm going to do the saying in Summer Splash. So this thank you, this is from the sketched butterflies. stamp sets. We'll go ahead and just, let's see how that, I know I was telling people, when you get these ink pads, they are, I'm just going to test this. Oh, that one's okay. But if you find that your pad is way too juicy, take a acrylic block and basically kind of press the ink down farther onto the pad. So you're kind of getting rid of some of that excess ink, because they seem to be like super, super juicy. Okay, so then this I would just wipe off on a cloth. But now this top part of my ink pad, it then won't be as foamy. Yeah, that looks a lot better. So that's kind of a quick tip on how to, if your pads are too juicy. All right, and then we'll just go ahead and stamp this right on that little circle. Okay. And then that can be attached onto there. And then I do have, from my little die cutting, I have some of the flowers from that Around the Bend that I already pre-die cut. So I'm going to take some of these out, and let's do, just because it needs a little bit of something something here. So we'll do that. We can do a little purple. Pink. And then maybe another little purple one. Something like that. Okay, we'll call that good. All right, so let's attach our leaf first. So knowing that this is kind of overhanging, I'm only going to put a little bit of glue. Oh, I just unclogged this. Always something. Okay. And we'll attach this on. And this little circle, this is from the Everyday Essential dies. It's like one of my everyday set of dies that I always like to use. They got basically the little polka dot kind of circles going around each of the circles and the rectangle dies, which is kind of fun. And we'll do a little pink. And then another one of the Petunia Pop. And then I'm just going to tuck this, I think, underneath, just to give it a little more color. And that should be good. Okay, so that's for that one. We'll do the flowers. And then so when you go to attach these, you only need to put adhesive on the arm. So again, you can use your normal tape, you can use tear and tape here. This is the same width as my die or my punch out, so I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive on the arm, and then I can just attach that onto the arm. Give that a quick press, make sure it's attached. So now that's on there. And then this bottom one, I think I was just going to do another butterfly. And on this one, I was going to do the layering, which I thought was kind of... Where is my other... Here we go. I thought I had die cut a... Oh, maybe it is only on that little... Okay, yeah, we'll just do we'll do a little purple one, I think. All right, so this we can go ahead and attach. And that can just be attached underneath it. So it's kind of a fun, another way of doing your little dies. And I do have the saying that was in there too. You brighten up so many of my days. And I think if that fits on here, yeah, because then I can put that on there and then add my butterfly. Yeah, we'll call that good. So again, we'll stamp this greeting in Summer Splash, and again, this is from that Everyday Essentials die cut. All right, and let's stamp straight. We're up a little high, but we'll add our butterfly at the bottom. If that gets attached onto here, then I could do it like that. I can add, again, some flowers just to fill it in. Go like that. All right, that'll work. Designing on the fly. It's really hard. I've never been one who will do like mass producing of cards. I know whenever I used to do card swaps, I'm like, I cannot do the same card over and over again. So whenever people get cards from me, it's like they're all Linda originals, because I don't mass produce cards. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and attach that. And then I think I still have a few flowers left. So we'll go ahead and kind of tuck a few of these in. A pink one, yes. other thing I wanted to do was stamp on my inside here. I just want to add a few more butterflies. So again, adding this piece, we'll want to just put the glue on our arm. And then attach that. So pretty. Fun. Okay, so on here I'm going to take the same color, so monochromatic, so Petunia Pop with Petunia Pop, and we're going to ink up our little flight of butterflies. And we'll do one in the upper right hand corner, and then we'll also do, oh no, I don't think I can because I've got my gems and stuff there, so we'll just do it on the one side. I don't have a flat surface because I have my card front decorated. So, all right, so that is the floating gatefold card with the sketched butterflies. So lots of fun, ways to do this with, changing up your punch, the shapes of your little pop-up pieces, and, the papers and whatever, theme you want to do. So thanks again for joining me today for this Fun Fold series with the Gatefold. I think there's still two more that people had wanted to learn about, and one of them is going to be the, I think it was the angled gatefold. And then I've got another one kind of using the around the bend dies. So stay tuned for those. I'm going to work on that. I do have a card class that I have to prep for this weekend, so I don't know if I'll be able to do another video this weekend or not, but it's on my to-do list. So make sure you subscribe to my channel. I appreciate all of your support and your comments. And again, thanks again for joining me today. Have a great and creative day. Thanks. Bye-bye.